Vigilante Williamson here on the 103rd episode of my show, The Vigilante Williamson Show. Got quite a few different topics I'm talking about as I look over to the side to see what it is. We're going to get into internet hero worship as a concept, things we don't need from the new era of content creation, AI, why I think relegation should be in sports. Shots such a dildo for tossing that out to me. Or relegation should exist in U.S. sports. And maybe a little bit of boxing at the tail end. We'll see if we can get it in. I don't want this to be too long. I don't want these podcasts to be too long. There's too many fucking podcasters, as I'll talk about later, with a specific subject of the podcaster. And it's just, I know people's attention spans. They don't have an hour and a half, 2 hours. If I have an interesting conversation, it'll work. But half hour, 45 minutes. If I get to an hour, okay. But we're not trying to overextend you guys. I want to appreciate anyone who's watching this. I guess it's not live, it's a pre-record. But who's watching this, whether I do clips or whatnot. I do want to start off with something I did make a video to. I just want to talk about the Crowder situation just with a little bit. It's been a few days, a little bit more, I don't know if depth, but just a different perspective over the whole thing, and that'll probably lead into some of the hero worship stuff that I've talked about. If you've watched any of my gaming streams, it's probably, a broken record at this point. Parasocial relationships. You probably heard me say that phrase so many times. But with Crowder specifically, and specific to Candace Owens and the Daily Wire, this beef that started and that led to this video of him and his wife. So that video is on someone else's Substack, and I'm not aware of the person. Maybe I should do some research. So I can't necessarily say that Owens leaked the video. She obviously used it for her video where she says Steven Crowder's a monster, prove me wrong, and all this. But I don't necessarily know if she put it out. But one thing that I keep thinking of, besides Steven Crowder, was clearly fucking with the wrong one. He clearly misread her, right? He clearly, underestimated how she don't let her do it to you, homie. She'll overdo it, man. Hit your ass with a sledgehammer type shit. Like, straight up, like, really going hard in the paint at this motherfucker, right? But he did, accuse her of extortion. But then I'm like, was he legit with those accusations? Because when did you see this video? And this is the thing to kind of keep in mind. I don't want to guarantee, but I think it's a safe bet she saw the video before last week. She saw the video before 2 weeks ago. She probably saw that video months ago, right? Because it probably circulated amongst some of the conservatives, and she had nothing to say. I feel there's a gap of her seeing the video. Let me put the camera. Her seeing the video, her actually doing something about it. And if that space in between, shout out to Dave Matthews Band, if in that space in between, Crowder said nothing to Daily Wire, said nothing to Candace Owens, well, we know that video exists. Maybe we still would. Maybe this person who put it out had an agenda. Maybe his wife had an agenda. There's people who watched the video and say, was she acting nice for the camera? Did she know it was being recorded? Is it a rain thing that's going on all the time? Was it intentionally? These are a lot of questions we don't know. I get it. A lot of people don't care. Do I really care? I don't really give a shit about Crowder. I give a shit about the fact that people believe in Crowder and that believe in these internet celebrities and that believe in we're going to take it back from the liberals or whatever the fuck people believe in. This political discourse thing has too much more impact on society to totally pay it no mind and pay the individuals who participate in it no mind. That said, it is a bit seedy. It is a bit on the, rest in peace to the brother Jerry Springer. It is a bit on that side. But there's also something to be said about, like, man, is it something that's indicative of this personality? The fact is that in this day and age, we have now thousands and thousands of people who are influencing millions and millions of people. A lot of it's innocent entertainment. Most of it's innocent entertainment. There's no shame in that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to do it. You're looking at me. maybe not looking at me, I'm just playing in the background. That notwithstanding, some people buy into a higher grip, I should say. I don't know what grip is. But some people buy into it way deeper than that. Shit, I would be lying, for my time in the fandom menace. And now I really sound like a broken record. But I didn't buy in a little bit to the community element or fellowship or whatever the fuck you want to call it. That it wasn't cool when a higher profile YouTuber actually came on my show. Obviously, we've had a lot of high profile people on the Culture Crime Fighters, and where I interacted with them, and it was like, oh man, this is cool. So I can, I'm not innocent to it. I'm not immune to it. So I get it, but I also know it's a dangerous thing, and you don't know who these people are that you're following. You don't know who these people are, and so that's where there's a relevance to digging into Crowder's kind of business. I don't want to see it, but do I feel comfortable doing it? No, I don't want to dig into his business per se, but like it's out there. It is out there, and you know what I mean. If you're somebody who is cucks or conservative, I'll stop calling you cucks. If you are and you care about that thing, you care about the people who are in the spotlight with that. This does matter to you. Or at least it could matter to you. Because, I mean, Crowder had a huge impact over his space in the internet. I do think a lot of people, because of the way the internet inflates someone's ego, it's very easy to think you have more impact than you do. You know what I'm saying? I think he might have been in that category. I think he might be a guy who believes his own hype. But we are looking at a personal relationship. We don't know all the details of the relationship. Did I say this on the MF or one of my streams? He's brought up his kids in a weird way. He was very dismissive of this woman's pregnancy or having an issue with medication. That's the whole point. Put on the gloves. I'm not sure that there was no infidelity, man. And I don't really believe Crowder and, his shit. And I haven't followed it more. I haven't dug into it anymore than seeing a video, and I haven't watched his content. I saw the one video that Candace Owens did. I saw part of another video of a commentator kind of doing what I'm doing, kind of parsing through it. That's pretty much it. That was when I did the video. I haven't really done much outside of when I had to rewatch the video for editing. That was pretty much it. So I'm not digging too deep, but from what I can tell, from what we gathered, it's still like, man, all these motherfuckers seem fucked up, man. Candace Owens again too. Like, I highly doubt that you just saw that video, and it also, almost gives credence to maybe he was extorted a little bit. Maybe not explicitly, but if you knew this video existed and now all of a sudden there's beef, maybe he felt the video was already going to come out and wanted to get ahead of it. I don't know. But I can see where someone this does feel like a little soft extortion. Don't legally, cease and desist me. Sheesh. Not that anyone's going to see this, but who knows? If something goes viral, who knows? And I think this whole content, this whole space, that whole conservative space, we were on the MFer again. Shout out to Matt, his last MFer for a while. Playing some, what was it, fuck Bud Light. It's like, this is goofy, but people eat it up. This goofy virtue signaling, there's no other word for it. This conservative virtue signaling, people eat it up. Tom McDonald's Dirty Money, it's just terrible content, terrible non-quality content, no better than any of the woke shit. But it's conservative, so it's virtue signals to that conservative, modern conservative values. It owns the libs, and it's not good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's, that, and that's what, to me, Crowder, that's what I thought Crowder was. I thought he was just a terrible version of what Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert back in the day. It's just a terrible version of what they were trying to do. To me. So, I don't want to see anyone go out like that. But if that's what the guy is, if he is, the crazy motherfucker he seems to be, granted, he didn't swing on her. He didn't yell at her. He tore her down verbally. but he didn't, pile driver through a table. He may, wanted her to handle something while she's pregnant that's kind of fucked up. But again, if there's been some infidelity, not saying that's right, but you can see why he might feel that way. And I'm not saying that there has been. I don't know. Not in a relationship. I just don't see why somebody would do that. And maybe he's just off his rocker. I don't know. But I guess that leads me into my next subject, and it's the whole internet worship thing. Don't worship these people. Don't worship me. Don't worship anybody you see on the internet. I find so many entertaining creators. I like the creators. I watch the content, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? Don't overdo it. And it's easy to overdo it. And it's a very dark time in general. Mainstream escapism has kind of taken a dip. So the internet creator has that, like I said, that connection. You have a different connection that you do with Kai Cenat, even though he's a huge creator, huge content creator, tons of subs. But you'll have a different connection you have with him than you will, whoever's reading the news. You have a different connection because they're right there. They're, accessible. And so that's a new way of interacting with the entertainer and the entertainment. And that's like the new way that we do interact with entertainment. And it does lead to this weird, I don't know, worship maybe is a strong word. In some cases it's not. But the weird emotional attachment to a creator. Watch any video with Chael Sonnen in it. Any video, any short, any clip, and he never lost a round, and they say all the Chael Sonnen cliches, and they just say it. It's just all in the comments. All the little cliche, all his little wrestling gimmicks his wrestling promos that he basically delivers on his channel, West Lynn, Oregon, all this shit. He got thousands of motherfuckers in every fucking video he does. Saying that. I'm not talking shit in the comments. You can see me. I'm a fucking menace to society in comments and videos. So I get it. People are just having fun, but it's just still that, okay, everyone knows when you're part of that fan base, and then you just do it. In that case, it's, harmless, whatever, but it is just like that. It's different. We're in a different place. Remember that Waffle House has a new host. That was from some other random creator who just said it as a joke. And we saw it every fucking where, because that's how impactful creators are now. You know what I'm saying? You saw it. No one knew what it meant, but and then people just, once they got popular, they just rolled the wave, even if they didn't know who the original creator was. We're in that weird world. We're in that brand new world, brave new world. You know what I'm saying? And you have to guard your mind away from it. Knowledge of human psychology does not make you immune to it. Just because you know everything I said, I'm sure a lot of people who watch this do, doesn't mean it can't happen to you. Yes, you. Can happen to you. Might happen with me. I'm great. No. Might happen with someone else. Might happen with the OnlyFans girl you fap to. Or something else. You know what I'm saying? That's another unhealthy. The prawn thing, that's unhealthy. That's another unhealthy connection that we have. And, that's what OnlyFans and even the near X-rated Twitch girls, maybe it's not all X-rated, maybe it's more Maxim, PG-13 Twitch girls, but that's what that connection sells. It doesn't sell. People aren't paying OnlyFans girls just to see their titties per se. They're paying for that connection, that false sense of girlfriend experience. That's what the money is. You know what I'm saying? They can see titties anywhere, but it's that connection, that internet connection, that feeling like I'm a part of this creator's life. Maybe, just maybe I can spend enough money and spend time with them. You know what I'm saying? That's the draw. That's the draw. And some of these smaller creators, I done heard some things that, these OnlyFans girls will do a little strange things for change. You know what I'm saying? So that's not even always outside the possibility. So we're in a different world, and I don't know how we go forward in it. We're going to talk about some other subjects. Like I said, I want to talk about the AI stuff, but how do we go forward with that? But it's crazy. It's crazy. I wish I had more words. Those are my podcast. But it's like, man, how does this look 10 years from now? How does this look 15 years from now with all this creator obsession. We already went through the celebrity phase. We already went through the Kim Kardashian shit. We already went through the celebrity phase of the past 20 years, the TMZ era. So now you add that to that connection. Now I can talk to that person on a regular basis on their streams, or be in their DMs, or be in their comments, or be in their reply, whatever. You know what I mean? Or maybe they, you know, I'm a loyal fan. Maybe I'm a mod of this big creator, and now I'm a part of their wave, whatever they call their fan base. You know, what does it call mine? The Fangilantes or some dumb shit. It's not dumb. It's great. You be a Fangilante. But no, you're part of that wave. You're a part of the, you know, whatever nation. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever club. You're part of the Mud Club. Whatever the fuck it is. You know, people buy into that. People like that sense of identity. People talk a lot about identity politics. People like the sense of identity. That's why we have such a polarized political space. Because I like to identify as a liberal. I like to identify as a conservative. Sometimes that's not good enough. I'm a, you know, such and such communist liberal or whatever the fuck. You know how people add shit to it. I'll toss in I'm a libertarian leaning populist or some shit. You know, you come up with all these different phrases because that gives you that sense of identity. Because we're all disconnected from everybody. This world is so disconnected that it's leading to people needing that connection and getting that connection somewhere else, and getting that connection from other things, because the normal interaction that we enjoyed, or not so much, if depending on how you feel about people, the past however long we've been on this earth, it's not the same anymore, especially post beer bug, we'll call it that, to keep the channel going. And so now we have that obsession. We have that, and not everybody, obviously, like I said, most people watch content, don't go that deep, but there is that layer. There is that layer where there's thousands and thousands of people obsessed with other thousands of creators. You know, millions of people obsessed with thousands of creators. You know what I'm saying? So it's a weird new world, brave new world, and we have to navigate it. But I will say one thing we don't need any more of. One thing that we have hit the quota of, one thing that we please, or maybe two things, but it's all under the same bundle. We're done. We don't need any more. We don't need another. And I know my man Matt and Daniela LaFave, they have a relationship podcast, and I wish them the best. I wish them the best. I'm not going to say we don't need another relationship podcast, but we don't need any more bad dating advice. I don't need another motherfucker, and no disrespect, there's a few people who fit this, one of which I kind of like, but especially I think he might even be from Detroit, but I don't want to disrespect nobody, but it's become a fucking a meme almost, but it's certainly an archetype. A motherfucker with a cigar who has TRT, between 40 and 50, maybe 60, telling me a bunch of alpha male strategies. We don't need another Jack Murphy. We don't need an entrepreneur in cars, no disrespect. Another thing we don't need just pearly things. We don't need the whatever cast. No disrespect to Wes Moody, but it's this whatever podcast where it's some OnlyFans whores and some geek, and maybe he'll have a conservative Daily Wire person or another conservative person with him. We don't need fresh and fit. No disrespect. We are past the quota of a bunch of people trying to tell us how to deal with our relationships. We are well past it. We don't need another movement. We don't need another, listen, if you're MGTOW, whatever, cool beans. Keep it to yourself. We don't need another creator in that space. We're done. We are done here. We're done. I'm sick of every time I go on shorts, I got don't recommend channel. I don't know how many motherfuckers repost this whatever. It's just, I don't want to see, I don't care what these whores' opinion is on anything on earth. I don't care what these fake alpha males' opinion is on anything on earth. I'm not clapping hard, but I don't care. Shorts should be for Juice WRLD freestyles, B. Lou freestyles, Andrew Tate, David Goggins. You don't know me, son. Who's gonna carry the boats? David Goggins especially. I fuck with Goggins. Got some weight. It'll get off. Don't know me, son. That's what we need for. Nims, don't ever disrespect me looking like a broke down Bane. Is probably what he'd say to me. You don't know me, son. That's what we need shorts for. Entertaining I found this one singer. There's motherfuckers doing crazy shit, doing flips, martial art. There's all sorts of cool shit. Inspirational quotes. That's what we need shorts for. We don't need some OnlyFans whore talking about high value men. We don't need no alpha male talking about traditional women and modern women. We don't need it. We're done. There's a billion of you motherfuckers. We're done. We don't need a new one. We don't need the ones that we have. Please, for the love of all that is good in the world, which ain't much at this point in time, just stop. I am begging you. Just fucking stop. I know I'm not the only one. You have no fucking insight whatsoever to a normal relationship. The average person is not like worth 50 million or a fucking OnlyFans whore. The average person is still an average person trying to get through a fucking world that's trying to kill them. You're not helping. Go away, please. All of you. I don't care what your slant is. Just go. Go home. Holy smokes. So this is why I have a podcast, so I can just say that. So I can just rant that out so I don't have to deal with it. I don't live. I can just, thank God it's out there in the universe. Even if this gets clipped and no one sees it, the universe knows it's been said. Someone else will say it. And maybe these things will go away. Now I get, rest in peace again, Jerry Springer. Maybe this is the new Jerry Springer. Maybe this is the new Crash TV. Maybe this is the replacement for that, sort of train wreck television, trashy television, reality television. Okay, if that's the case, that's fine. No shame in that. We all have guilty pleasures. But for fuck's sake, you're not insightful. You offer very little value to most people. That's the truth. And we have to operate like that's the case. Because I can't deal with this shit. If you feel differently, let me know. I'm sure I'll clip this one out. But yeah, we don't need any more fucking relationship casts. Here's something else we don't need. AI. No disrespect to Allen Iverson. Not talking about him. One of the greats. Or Andre Iguodala. Another great player. I am talking about artificial intelligence, Chat GPT, all the different GPTs they got out. One of the things that made me think of this was AI music. I'm pretty sure AI music's been around the past 5-6 years. I don't think AI music is new. I think it's maybe new to us that we're actually getting it. But I think there's been a lot of AI produced music the past 5 or 6 years. There's a lot of, I was saying, what was it? Fucking whatchamacallit might be AI produced. What's that fucking trash ass rapper that I just mentioned? Tom McDonald. Tom McDonald might be fucking AI. It's just so garbage. It's like humans couldn't come up with this. You have to be a fucking robot to be this terrible. Let me get some water. Hydrate or die. But AI, is it going to get rid of all of us as far as working? Probably. What's going to happen with art? That's probably going to be the first step. A lot of our art probably already is AI. Wouldn't shock me if we have AI written scripts, because some of the humanity just seems to be lacking. I think AI has already been a part of the entertainment sphere, but it's going to revel up. It's going to ramp up. Hell, I'm already speaking of creators. Creators I do like, by the way. Seeing these fucking AI, what is it? Trump and Biden and Obama shorts. Even one guy fucking makes himself a part of it. Like it's a real thing. So people are using AI for some real creative stuff. You know what I mean? It may not be all soulless and bad. I think those things are pretty funny. But it just is like, man, we're going to go through a world. AI girlfriends. I just mentioned all this relationship shit. We do have a relationship issue. We do have a replacement issue. As far as humanity, at least in the West, we're not replacing ourselves. And the AI girlfriend, with all this noise, with all the craziness that is modern relationships, how will AI dating be? Will people be dating AIs? Just AI chatbots? They already exist. You know what I mean? Is it better off paying for an AI girlfriend than a real one? That seems crazy to think. But shit, I mean, there's been guys waiting on this day forever. I'll never get my one barber waiting on the sex bots. Waiting when the sex bots get real. What happens in 10, 15 years? You have a real AI sex bot. Are you going to go outside? Is that going to be the only goal a man has? Make enough money to buy a sex bot and pay your rent? Like, is that the future of humanity? But maybe you can't even do that, because how are you going to get a job when AI is taking every job? So it's going to be, we are about to set up for some crazy times because of AI. But ironically enough, I don't know if art and creativity is going to get hit that bad, because it's already been getting hit. I think a lot of it is trash, even as AI improves. I don't know. I think some of it will be good, some of it will be used okay, but I still think you'll need like a human to kind of make it into something entertaining in some ways, whether it's the prompts or whatever. But yeah, AI, I know this is going without saying, right? AI is taking over, but it is, and it's kind of, it's scary, man. It's scary that the future is here. We thought we would get flying cars. Instead, we get AI programmed algorithms. We have, AI's been taking care of our money. Did you know that? What is it? BlackRock. Of course, you can guess where BlackRock comes. Saturn worship and the like. But yeah, they have an AI algorithm that's doing, it's one of the biggest. It's managing more money than all of humanity has. As far as in the market, it's managing an incredible amount of money. It's all AI. So who knows, what happens when AI gets a will of its own? What happens if that's already happened? We might have AIs ruining our lives already. You know what I'm saying? Especially with all the financial crap that's going on, banks falling apart. Can an AI destroy a bank? Probably. If that BlackRock bot is as powerful as they say, it probably can in and of itself. So, future looks bleak. I wish I had some heroic, we can pull it through fucking statement to let you guys know, man, but looks dark. Times look dark out here. Look dark. Let me try to look. I don't know how long I've been gone. Okay, we're making good time. I said I didn't want to be too long, only a little under a half hour in. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any answers for the future of humanity for AI, or as far as AI. I guess we'll see. That's all I know. So we're starting to wrap up. There's one topic I thought of, because shout out to Cinch and Dildo, fan of the show, long-term fan, been since the old channel, Culture Crime Fires, fan of Matt. Cool dude. He's always got something to say in the chat. He talks about how not having relegation is stupid as far as U.S. sports. We don't have relegation. And I was watching, can I find it? I'll try to find it. There was a fucking fan. Matter of fact, let me put the mask up. There was a fan talking about the goddamn the Chicago White Sox, and talking about how bad they are. And it's like, and I saw something else talk about how they've increased in value over the past 10 years from like 900 million to 2 billion. So it's like they're getting paid to lose, basically. They have no incentive whatsoever to get better. None. And it's like, man, that's fucked up. They're literally exploiting fans. You know what I'm saying? And we know video games do. That's nothing I thought to talk about. That fucking what is it? Yes, watch it here. Oh, yep, here we go.
Next hour.
Hold on. I'll set it up. Let me get on camera. We'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Maybe I'll edit this. Here I am. Here I am. Okay. Let's watch this.
312-332-3776. So if you want to talk some socks with us and vent about this organization, be our guest right now.
Yeah. Basically, this is another sports talk radio. Maybe you guys have seen this call because it's gone somewhat viral. Just another sports talk radio host talking sports talk radio, talking about the White Sox, and they have a long-term fan who calls in. And you know what? I'm playing this rant. You may not know everything about baseball. He's doing a few modern stats that I don't know as much about, but you can hear the passion and you can hear the issues. I don't think this mentions the money thing, but I'll still play it.
And then we will talk some Bears football. Berto is on the west side. You're on ESPN 1000. What's up, Berto?
What's going on, guys? Listen, first of all, huge fan, long-time listener, first-time caller. I know regardless of your individual allegiances, I love that you both look at these things objectively.
Long time, first time.
And you provide a service to the fans of Chicago. We owe you a debt of gratitude. I've been a diehard Chicago White Sox fan for nearly 40 years. I say that with the very express intent of sharing my deep and undying love for this team.
Listen
and my
to this guy's
call
pain, bro.
is rooted in heartbreak, not anger. Don't get me wrong. I'm angry, but it is a byproduct of a dysfunctional, abusive relationship with the front office and the ownership of the Chicago White Sox. I also want to say I have defended this rebuild. I liked what the team did with the trades. I defended Yasmani in Dallas. I didn't understand the La Russa hire, but I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I forgave the free agents they let go. I was befuddled by the Benintendi and Clevenger signings, but you know what? I said, I'm going to give them one last shot. And when they canceled Sox Fest, like the cowards they are, I knew something was up.
So I don't even know what Sox Fest is. I don't know how good a lot of these players are at work because I don't follow baseball like I used to when I was younger. I'm part of that is brokenhearted that the Tigers had Matt Scherzer, had Justin Verlander, had a prime Miguel Cabrera, and never won a fucking title. So it just sounds like I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't afford to be a sports fan because I'd be this guy. I'd be this guy breaking out different fucking every statistic. He's about to hit statistics, breaking out different trades, rebuilds, all this shit. And sometimes I still get into it. Listen, sports are fake. I'm going to come back on full camera, and then we'll go back. Sports are fake, right? I don't know if you know this. They're fake. Watch Donaghy. Again, eventually I'll fucking cover it to break it down why it's confirmed fake. But there's still that want, man. So is a movie. And I still want the guy I want to win to win. There's still that want. I still want the fucking Tigers to win a World Series in my lifetime. They did technically when I was no, it was 84. I was born in 87. So not in my lifetime. I would love to see the Lions. I don't actually think I'll ever see the Lions win the Super Bowl, but I would love to see it. And it's just like I feel this guy's pain. And I'll go back into the call, but why I mentioned relegation, for those who don't know, in the football leagues in Europe and throughout, there's different levels and different tiers. And I think, when I think about, they'll never go for that because nobody wants to, they paid all this money. They don't want to be a part of the G League. But like they can split the leagues, the current leagues into thirds or, halves. Whether you're talking about the NFL, MLB, or NBA, I'm not really, no disrespect to hockey. I mean, you can do it there too. And basically, if you're at the bottom, you go down, and if the top of the next level, you go up. And so I think some version of that, I don't know, sometimes I think it's a few seasons, I don't know exactly how the rules work, but I think something like that would prevent these fans from feeling like, I'm investing my time, my money, I'm taking days off to go see games, and you're not even as invested in the product as I am, and you work for them. You know what I'm saying? So let's play more of this call so you can see again more of this guy's pain.
But now we know. Obviously, the experiment is over. The vast majority of the prospects have been busts. The product on the field is pathetic. We have exactly 2 players of excellence on this roster, Dylan Cease and Tim Anderson. Everyone else is nowhere near the kind of player they need to be to make this a winning team. You'd think that would be enough to wake this organization up. But yesterday, Kenny Williams had the gall to say that he's not in a good place right now, and accountability is not an issue. You're right, he's not in a good place. He's not in a job he should have.
Wow.
Think about all the promises that Rick Hahn made. mired in mediocrity. That he bragged about Romy Gonzalez in spring training, and I'll trade him if I get the right price. Think about the things Grifol said. Come to the park. We're going to kick everyone's butt. They must have been talking about the fans, not the other teams. The entire lineup is batting under 220.
Oh.
The best hitter on the team is Jake Berger. We're a AAA team. Our right fielders are hitting 180 with a weighted run created plus of 28. I don't even need to tell you about the pitching staff. Katz has got to go.
He said they're a AAA team. Bro, there's been a lot of teams, even some Tigers teams back in the day, some Royals teams back in the day. Obviously, the Royals got good at one point when I was younger. But there's been some teams where you're like, yo, y'all really are a AAA team. You literally just developed talent for bigger teams. Even Oakland, to some extent, was like a semi-AAA or single A team. Like they were just, it's like the great players just come through to leave and go to the Yankees, go to wherever, and we just get left out, the Cardinals. And so there have been teams throughout the years that like, yo, are we a real AAA team? I feel that way about the modern Pistons. Past 10, 15 years, like all these different players that go through Detroit and they end up in other places, Malik Monk, Chris Middleton, Tobias Harris, Spencer Dinwiddie, all these different players. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Could we have kept any of them and done anything with any of them? How the hell did they all go through here and none of them stuck? Like, what the fuck? So I definitely feel that guy's pain. And then the whole fucking I know we're in a different era, batting averages and is high, home runs are a little higher, but damn, under 220, the whole team. Whew, that's not good. For those who don't know baseball, you want to hit as close to 300 as you can. You want to at least be, as a team, 250 to 270. Whew, that's rough. That's rough. And this is what fans go through. This is what American sports fans go through. Again, is it all just a dog and pony show, Brandon circus? Yes, it is. It is. I hate to break it to you, but that's all it is. But for fuck's sake, you could create a much better product, a much more interesting product with some sort of relegation system. Seeing the agony of defeat, not just Such a Dildo recommended one video seeing the team celebrate winning. Saw another team that got relegated down, and it was like people were pissed. People were pissed, and it was a small little club team. They had the fucking projects all around and shit, but it was still just that passion for the sport. You know what I'm saying? There was more teams and more players and more fans. Everyone was involved emotionally. You know what I'm saying? I just talked about the dangers of parasocial relationships. There is still danger, especially with sports. We know there's a lot of fans out there who are fanatical, living up to the root of that word. But I just think there would be a much better product if teams had to be held accountable for winning. Right now, because of a lot of things, sports are one of the few things in the entertainment business, yes, it's still the entertainment business, that do consistently profit as far as mainstream entertainment, because of the merchandising, it's just, the games, paying for these games. Shit, we can't even get players to play in the NBA with this low management shit. I think a relegation thing, if half the league was in the B League, and then the lower, if you fuck that up, you go to the G League, I think that would change everything. Or if you just, like I say, if you don't want to involve the lower leagues, and still keep them sectioned off, just split the major league into multiple tiers. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's 2 or 3. I think it would make for exciting games, especially the top tiers it would be all the best teams. All the best teams, maybe so you can keep some of the rivalries, do some cross-tier games from time to time. And then, that's a reason you can shorten the seasons and then have playoffs, a champion of each tier, and then, some relegation each way, depending on how you want to do the rules. I think something like that would make American sports, would put a fire in American sports, or light a fire under American sports. And I think they need to think sooner rather than later, because it's going to sneak up on them. The sports fucking thing is just going to fall off at some point, because I don't think there's still a lot of young fans in the NBA, young fans in the NFL, and even the MLB. And I know I've seen MLB has had people age into liking them as well. So they still have, they've had 30-year-olds like them or as their major audience for the past 15, 20 years. So as people become older, but it's still the same age, right? So once people become older, they get a little more interested in the team, and that's what happens. But I think with esports, with everything I just said, with streaming, with all the other stuff, I think a lot of people have, or a lot of kids are not as interested in sports as my generation and back. And shit, I remember the Instagram fucking bodybuilder and fitness model craze. Who knows how many great athletes, you know what I mean, became bodybuilders and fucking personal trainers because instead of going off of a sports team, they say, you know what, I just want to hit the gym, hit some gear, and get on Instagram. You know what I mean? Who knows? Untold. We don't know who. We don't know if the next Lawrence Taylor was just a fitness model or if he's fucking Brandon Curry or some shit. We have no idea. No idea. So I think there is that potential for the future of sports. If you just keep bleeding us old heads dry, the next generation is gonna come up like, I didn't really like sports ball, so you're not gonna have as many fans. So I think something like a relegation, something to again not show this disincentive. Let me see if I can find the clip where they talk about the White Sox and their fucking how much money they've made since. So yeah, this is it, I think.
Take us through what's.
This is a fan as an actor. This is an actor, I guess, and a fan. I don't know him. It's named Joe Moran, but this is what he talks about. Same franchise. Listen to this.
Going through your mind, if you will.
It's frustrating, it's hard to watch a team, that you grew up idolizing as a kid, as an adult. They're a big part of my life. I love baseball. I love the Sox. And to embrace this rebuild from like 2016 and to be here today, I honestly thought we've had maybe at least 2 parades by now. We've had more managers since the rebuild than we've had parades. Let's put it that way.
2 parades
this year.
The only thing that's changed so far is that in 2016, this team was valued at $975 million. And today, in 2023, not even 10 years later, this team is now worth over $2 billion.
Ooh. I'm gonna hit repeat just in case you didn't hear what bro just said.
$2,025 million. The only thing that's changed so far is that in 2016, this team was valued at $975 million.
Still a lot of money.
And today, in 2023, not even 10 years later, this team is now worth over $2 billion.
Ooh. And who do you think created all that value? It was motherfuckers like the frustrated fan we just heard. These motherfuckers who buy season tickets and then still buy extra tickets for extra games when their friends' family wants to come and shit like that. Buy out fucking jerseys, buy everyone's jersey, buy everyone's hat. These super fans, you have like sometimes hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of these super fans. And then when you raise the price, they just go with it. Jeez, this franchise, and this is not the only franchise. This is just one franchise out of dozens you can pick in pro sports that hasn't won shit. And over less than a decade, doubled in value. Just on account of being a sports franchise. They don't have to win. They don't have to try. They don't have to put forth any effort towards looking like a franchise that cares about winning. And they're not the only one. And that's why I think you need some, and maybe that wouldn't matter. Maybe these, I'll just get relegated. As long as I still can profit off of a failure, I'll do it. I don't know. But, like, you got to do something, man. I'm not the only one who misses sports. I'm not the only one who, you know, like I said, I know sports are fake, movies are fake, TVs are fake. You know what I'm saying? I still want to see a fun product. And I think relegation, some form of it, something, you got to do something, man. 10 to 15 years, you're not going to have me. You're not going to have a lot of people who you just think are going to be there, that you could just milk. A lot of these franchises found out the hard way that ain't the way. It ain't going to work. Speaking of the hard way, this is going to be the last topic. A little bit of boxing. We squeeze it in. We're under 45 minutes. So we'll squeeze, right at 45 minutes, we'll squeeze this in. I made a video about Teofimo Lopez, and he said take the black fighters. He had his issues with Top Rank, which is not known to be friendly to anyone. I mean, shit, Manny Pacquiao hated him. Oscar De La Hoya hated him. Of course, Floyd and a lot of other black fighters. Terrence Crawford recently had issues with Top Rank. So they're not really too good to anybody, not least of which are black fighters. Meanwhile, he's not about to fight a black fighter. Like, as much as I don't like what he's saying and some of the stuff, you know, like, damn, I actually used to support you, bro. It's like, if you were fighting a black guy, at least it would be some negative publicity. It would be like promotion. It would be something like that. Bro, you're fighting a British white dude, and he is about to beat the shit out of you. This is Josh Taylor. This is the guy that Teofimo Lopez, let me point. Oh, my. Here. This guy is about to fuck Teofimo Lopez up. That's what he has to deal with in a month. Less than a month. June 10th. It's May 1st at the time of this recording. May 2nd when you hear it. And you got 5 weeks to get ready for this guy. This is what he thinks of Teofimo.
Because he's a bit mentally fragile anyway. So with me, with this fight, I plan on retiring this guy. I plan on giving him that much of a beating that he doesn't think he's that guy anymore. So he's already got them doubts. I'm going to cement them and retire him.
And I'll just, that's a shout out to Bruce Vane, Metro Detroiter himself, even though I'm in Texas, I'm still from Detroit. So shout out to Bruce Vane. That clip's been around, but that was his video because it was right at the beginning. I'm like, I just want to get to play. So yeah, Teo, like, I know you're worried about us, worried about people that looking like me, worried about Top Rank. You need to worry about this bloke because he's probably about to fuck you up, man. And you've been looking shaky. You don't look. He sees you as mentally unstable. So does everyone else. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. You can play the race card all you want, but I don't know, man. And shit, that almost leads me to some other shit I've been meaning to talk about. It's this fucking, the infamous victimhood mentality, right? A lot of times, and even rightfully so at times, it can be put forth towards brothers and sisters, because there are a bunch of brothers and sisters who lead with victimhood, right? But bro, in the past 5 some odd years, everybody's trying to be a victim. Everybody's trying to be a victim. This may be an inflammatory statement. I love a lot of people in the fandom. I still interact with y'all, but a lot of fandom minutes was white man victimhood, bro. If a white man said that, it would be, and you might be right, bro. And there's shit that I can't say as a black man. There's shit that people can't say. It's fucked up. There's double standards that exist. Yeah. But bro, what do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? What do you want me to do? Everybody's got a story. Everybody's been, everyone's going through this fucking crazy thing called life. We all got a story. We all got something, that fucked with us when we were wrong. And I'm not saying that you can't talk about it. Sometimes you do got to talk about it and get through it, but you do got to get past it, right? Man, I can't deal with this modern shit. And same with Teo, man. Listen, I don't know what happened at the promotional halls of fucking Top Rank. It looked like they wanted to make you into a fucking star, and then you lost to George Kambosos, which is all your fucking fault. And I think if you would have won and you would have kept it going, kept the same discipline that made you a champion, as a champion, you probably wouldn't be sitting here, yelling on Punch Drunk, shout out to Punch Drunk, his channel, screaming about the blacks. You know what I'm saying? If you focused on your shit, like I said, maybe there was some fucked up things that happened. No fucked up things happen in your personal life. Who knows? But man, life is going to fucking come at you, man. Life is going to come at you. I don't really like hearing the victimhood stuff, even sometimes from my own people. Sometimes it's valid, sometimes there's some insight. But it's like, man, I just don't want to do it. And I don't want to be a victim, man. I don't want to hear victimhood stuff for myself. Maybe I'm listening too much David Goggins, trying to walk and run and get in shape. I don't know. But it's just, man, I just don't want to hear it. And I'm not knocking nobody. It's, it's just a skip. But like, it's just this modern era of everybody wants to be a victim. We see this, all these different groups. Really, it ain't the groups. Really, it's just motherfuckers trying to get stacks off of, this identity shit. But we'll see somebody who claims to be a certain identity, come from a certain group, maybe racial, maybe sexual, maybe combination of, intersectional, whatever the fuck, and they're a victim because, and then we went so hard in that direction that motherfuckers became victim the other way. I'm being persecuted because I'm a straight white male, or I'm a straight Christian person, or I'm this, that, and third. And you probably are. I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're wrong. This is separate from, are you being wrong because of something that's unfair? You might be. And you still might have to address it, stand up for yourself. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, man, you can't be a victim. No matter what, you just can't, because life is going to come at you regardless. That's what I learned from life. That's why I'm trying to do more. That's why you see me doing more on the channel. I'm trying to make sure I'm always doing something. I'm always doing something either creatively or physically, or because I don't want to be stagnant, man. I don't know how much time I have on this earth. I'm hoping another 50, 60 years, but I may not. Who knows? Who knows? And that's scary to me. And one thing the Koof did, it scared the shit out of me. Like, man, mortality is real. Say what you say about the actual thing and the actual thing that's supposed to help the thing, but people dropped one way or another. People were dropping over the past 3 or 4 years and still are. And it's like, wow, you don't know how much time you got. You don't. And I don't want to spend a second saying, oh man, I got victimized. And I did. Shit, on my old channel. Oh man, this channel's on such. I should have been fucking started a new channel. I did start this channel 1.5 years ago and then push forward with it. If I did 1.5 years ago, that's 1.5 years less complaining and being a fucking victim. So Teo, stop being a victim. Wherever you are over the internet, stop being a victim, because life is going to swing at you regardless. And that, my friends, is how we're going to end the podcast, because I can't do better than that. So, sugar, salt, salt. If you didn't have fun, it ain't my fault. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, or you didn't get that reference from the scene, was it the scene? It was one of them old Detroit shows. What was my name? Nat Morris? I hope I don't mess up his name. But even if you didn't get that reference, and you didn't do any of those things, thank you for your time. Good night, good evening, or whatever time of day it is, and God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.